This one came across recently. JT, Jonathan Taylor. Unfortunate. It's a thumb injury. What is he going to miss? 2-3 weeks? What do you think about JT, Tom?
He was supposed to have surgery today. They haven't told us if it's a ligament, if it's a broken bone. They haven't given us those details, but we know that he was scheduled to undergo surgery today, but they don't consider him an IR candidate, so they don't expect him to be out more than 4 weeks. It's sounding currently like they're expecting 2 to 3 game absence. Obviously, Zach Moss will fill in. And when he returns, this isn't going to impact his ability to run. But I would expect him to either wear a brace or be heavily wrapped in the thumb in those first game or two when he does come back. So that could really curb his receiving upside. And we saw reports from their coaching staff today also saying that one of the things that's going to be a problem for him is pass protection. So I absolutely expect Zach Moss to still be involved in a couple weeks when Jonathan Taylor does come back. Taylor will probably do most of the groundwork, but I would expect Moss to fully take over the third down back role. So this is definitely obviously to hit because he's not going to be playing for 2 to 3 weeks, but even for the fantasy playoffs, I'm expecting a reduced workload from Taylor simply because it's unlikely that he's going to be able to do the passing duties.
You bring in new perspectives all the time. I didn't even consider that. I mean, I thought a little bit about catching, but the pass protection, that's an excellent point. And the Colts are a team that are fighting a little bit here for a playoff spot. Like, they're going to be out there. They're going to be grinding now. JT missed the first 4, should miss the next few, so a little bit disappointing. I mean, he's been great these last couple of weeks, but I think from here, you mentioned it, Tom, I think the only fantasy fallout here is just Zach Moss owners should be shotgunning beers and going crazy and celebrating. Put Moss in your lineup. Enjoy that elite upside he's going to bring. He's a solid player, but again, like a Kyren Williams type in the sense that, I mean, the volume that he's going to probably receive this week, next week, who knows, a week after, is going to be elite, and that is really, really solid. I'm looking to get Moss. I mean, if you didn't already have your waiver bids, I would have loaded up if I had money on Moss, but Tom, I found on ESPN, which is the app that I use, and I'm not bashing ESPN fully here because it's my comfortable platform. I don't know where you do your leagues. They called Moss this week at best, a flex play in deeper leagues. And it's just something that I can't get past. That's what ESPN does. I want to be the person that does these write-ups. Zach Moss is at best a flex in deeper leagues. Are you high? Through weeks 2 through 6, 5 weeks, he didn't even play in week 1. Zach Moss averaged 19.3 fantasy points per game. In what world is that a flex play in a deeper league? I just want that job. I'm just like, I was so like thrown from hearing that. But again, if you have Zach Moss, little preview for our betting session later. I love him. And Tom, you mentioned too, he might continue to have a role even when JT comes back. And one more thing as well, we talked about this. Colts are 6-5. They're in the playoff hunt. This week they play a mediocre Titans rushing defense. Fire up Zach Moss. I think the other guy behind him is like Trey Sermon or something weird like that. I'm absolutely not playing him, and don't be tempted to do so, but I really love Zach Moss this week. All right.